What's up everyone, your friendly neighborhood onesie guy here, and the cards we're going to look at today are pretty interesting. There's some pretty powerful cards in here, some really terrifying cards if I may say so, that could, cause certain deck types basically to become out of hand and cheat out a lot of stats when for very little mana. So without further ado, let's go and take a look at the first card. And this is the big one that I was speaking about. So here we have a 4 mana 2/5 naga for Mage, Spite Lash Siren. After you play a naga, refresh 2 mana crystals, then switch to spell. So it basically means that once you've played that naga, it has going to have the same effect, but with a spell that you play. So baseline stats for this card are pretty decent for a 4 mana. You're not looking for this to attack. 5 health is nice and quite survivable. And just the potential of this card to chain into a whole bunch of things. I mean, Mage has got a lot of spell reduction. So, just chaining, especially later game, chaining naga into spell, refreshing mana, playing another naga to get that mana back, playing a cheap spell, even a 0 cost spell to get additional mana, playing it. So you can see how this can go ahead and kind of snowball, because we know we have naga that have effects when you play a spell and vice versa. So having a pretty powerful hand, if you've got the right tools in your hand, this could be an insanely powerful card, and possibly almost just an on the spot game ending. I would not be surprised if we see somehow this makes it into some form of OTK build for Mage. Obviously you wouldn't run this maybe alongside a Mech build of Mage. This would definitely be a more traditional spell-based Mage with some naga thrown in there for some powerful effects, because we have seen Mage getting some really strong naga minions as well. So this in particular is going to be interesting to have a look at and see how it plays out. It might bring me back into playing Mage full-time. Over the last little while I haven't been playing much Mage, just because I haven't been a fan of the archetypes, but with this, the chaining and the synergy potential can just make for some crazy one-turn interactions, and if this survives, even more powerful turns thereafter. I definitely see this as more of a mid to late game card, and like I said, especially late game if there is potential for an OTK in this. So definitely a card to keep an eye on, and I personally hope that someone finds a way to work a naga spell deck that just causes utter chaos. Next up we have a 2 mana spell for Warlock, Chum Bucket. Give all Murlocs in your hand +1/+1. Repeat for each Murloc you control. So we've already seen 2 Murlocs come out for Warlock in this expansion. So we do know that they are trying to support a Murloc Warlock build. There have been Murloc Warlock builds in the past. Personally, I love any kind of Murloc build. I just think that it's just fun and weird how all the different Murlocs look and sound, all form a gurgle. And so I will want to see what other synergies are going to come out for this, what other supporting cards we're going to get for Murloc Warlock builds, and what obviously maybe other Murlocs are going to be rotating back in from the core set as well. That might be a big factor in seeing how powerful this card can actually be. We already have the other Murloc that is going to buff Murlocs wherever they are, basically. So you can basically just ramp up your Murlocs for a very low mana cost, ridiculously easy. This doesn't have a spell school, so there would be no synergies with something like Tamsin, but we may see things that repeat a spell effects or something like that. And I do think that if we do get more support, Murloc Shaman could be quite an interesting build to play. Personally, I will just do it for the hell of it and the fun of it. Might be a bit of a meme deck, but I don't care. I just love Murlocs. Next up, we have a 3-mana 2/4 neutral beast for neutral beast, Smothering Starfish. Battlecry silence all other minions. So at first glance, this might not seem that strong, typically because you're also silencing your own minions. However, we have seen in the past silence builds, especially around priest, going on just to see that you maybe want to silence a negative effect on your minion, or you have certain minions that can't attack. We have a lot of those low cost, high stated minions that can't attack. This will help get through that. This can be a nice counter to buff builds and board buff builds that you want to smoke you with damage, and you can just silence all those minions back down to the original stats. So all in all, I think this can be a powerful tech card in a deck. I don't think you build a deck around this, but definitely with the amount of buff spells as well as buff abilities, battle cries, etc. that we are seeing in this set, this could definitely be a nice tech card to add in just to counteract that and put yourself maybe back in the game, or even help you win a game getting through taunts, taking out cards with Divine Shield, and also taking out stealth minions. So yeah, I do see very many ways that this could find its way into a lot of decks, as we've seen with Rust-Rot Viper kind of being played in pretty much all decks for a long time, just to counteract certain other cards, especially Cariel. So yeah, I think this can be a very powerful tech card, but you wouldn't build a deck specifically around this. And lastly, we come to Any Stormcoil, a 5-mana 4/4 neutral legendary. Battlecry, choose a friendly mech, summon a copy with Rush, Wind Fury, and Divine Shield. Now, that already giving all those keywords to one minion is already amazing. You could have a big mech on board, so say you are playing the Mage mech build and you play this onto a mech that you already have over there, can go ahead and clear a board for you, can go ahead and do a bunch of other stuff. But the main thing that I'm seeing with this is the paladin colossal minion, which is a mech. So playing this in that deck and playing that on that colossal minion not only provides that specific colossal minion with a hell of a lot more power, but because it summons the colossal minion again, you get those appendages back and you can keep doing some more crazy things. So we are finding that they're focusing a lot on these colossal minions, just like in the past when we had Galakrond's Awakening, that there was a lot of support in the neutral side as well for Galakrond builds. So I think this can definitely find its way into a number of mech builds. We'll see how strong Mech Paladin is going to be as well. Like I said, Mech Mage, you could use this to bring something out. You could also just play this in, like I said, a mech deck, but it also gives you additional resources. Because say you've got a mech, you've buffed it, you've given it additional stats, you've maybe even given it additional death rattles, and you've now made a copy of that version. So this has many, many uses. And I can definitely see this finding its way into a number of decks just for that extra power boost. And the baseline stats are not terrible either. So definitely a card to look out for different synergies, especially with the Paladin and Mage, the way they are shaping up to be at the moment. So yeah, that is all the cards we have for right now. There will be some more dropping later today, and I will be making a video most likely later this evening or early tomorrow morning taking a look at those cards. But for now, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, evening, or afternoon whenever you're watching this, and I'll speak to you guys again soon. Bye for now.